cold!
That is the sound of a new phenomenon which is sweeping the globe. If you've been in contact with social media over the past week or so, you may have noticed a new craze rapidly spreading like wildfire among your friends and family. It involves people dumping freezing cold water over themselves, sometimes wearing weird and wonderful outfits, and mostly using ice water-filled jugs, washing up bowls or buckets, with a few videos even featuring people being knocked over whilst being soaked to the skin by fully loaded dumper trucks. The videos are popping up all over the internet, where participants are initially heard to thank someone for nominating them for the challenge, and then they nominate other people before being soaked while screaming loudly due to the coldness of the water. But what is it all for? Well, the Ice Bucket Challenge, as it's called, has a purpose. And although it's come in for criticism by some who think it is a gratuitous excuse for attention or a waste of water, the craze began in America to raise funds and awareness for a condition called ALS. ALS stands for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also referred to as Lou Gehrig's disease in America. In this country we use the term motor neurone disease or MND. Whatever you call it, it's a progressive, life-limiting condition that attacks the nerves in the brain and spinal cord. It can affect the way sufferers walk, talk, eat, drink and even breathe. The Ice Bucket Challenge aims to not only raise funds for this little-known and under-researched condition, but also to raise awareness. I caught up with one participant of the Ice Bucket Challenge to find out what she thought of it.
I love it. I love that my Facebook is clogged up with ice bucket challenges, and it's not just pouring water on your head. You know, there's a lot of people saying that it's, you know, not to pour water on your head. I think that's the whole point. It is a shock to your system, this disease. It's horrific, and I think to see these videos out there makes you curious to watch and curious to find out the stories behind them.
I asked Karen what was her story.
I done it personally for my own reasons. We lost our mum to motor neurons just over 5 years ago, so that's why I wanted to take part, to raise awareness. My mum was a star, very outgoing, a social butterfly, and we lost her quite early on in her disease, so she hadn't deteriorated an awful lot. She could still talk, you know, she could still kind of eat for herself and things. It was a great shock, and she passed away on what should have been my little sister's wedding day, and it left our whole family absolutely devastated. I never heard of motor neurons until my mum had it, and I chose not to look into it. I chose to wake up every day and take my mum as I found her. I didn't want to frighten myself.
Some people have chosen to adopt the Ice Bucket Challenge for a different charity, Macmillan being one of the most popular, and others seem to do it just for fun and not donate at all. Either way, Karen is just pleased that the phenomenon means motor neurone disease is finally being talked about.
I'm quite happy to talk about my mum. She was a lovely woman, and we were all very, very sad, obviously, to lose her. But you can't not talk about it. It needs to be spoken about. People need to sit up, they need to listen, and they need to be made aware of it, and more money needs to be put into it. I never, you know, you see so many charities being publicised and having money ploughed into them. You don't see this anywhere. And money should be ploughed into it because other people shouldn't have to suffer. I would like to think that one day all this money is going to go into this cause and there will be a cure for it and people will never have to suffer again.
I wondered what Karen would like to say to people who criticise the Ice Bucket Challenge.
I'd like them to come and have a chat with me. I guess having gone through it myself, I have a very different perspective on it. It's a bit of water. You dry off. It might be cold, you'll scream, you'll shout, you'll be girly, you'll be fine afterwards. And I do think people should be made aware.
So, the challenge is out there. The chance to make people aware of this charity, or whatever charity really matters to you. For me, I want to make the world more aware of MND. Only 7 in every 10,000 people in the country are suffering from motor neurone disease at any one time. But my own uncle was one of those statistics. So it matters to me. So here goes nothing. This is my Ice Bucket Challenge.